everybody, it's Lori again, and welcome back to my kitchen. Hey, it's almost the end of zucchini season here, and I just had a few zucchini left today, and it was just about the right amount for me to be able to share this recipe with you. What I would like to share with you today is mock apple pie filling. Now, there's a lot of different recipes out there. This is the one that I have personally been following for the last few years and had just amazing, really good results from it. And so I'd like to share it with you today. Now, sadly, I really cannot give credit to the recipe author because I honestly don't know who authored this recipe. It was just something that I found online, and I do not know what the original source of it was. But like I said, this is the recipe that I have followed for the last few years, and I've been extremely happy with it. So the mock apple pie filling recipe that I would like to share with you today takes approximately 12 cups of peeled and sliced zucchini. Now, if your zucchini is larger zucchini and you have larger seeds inside of it, just peel them and cut them directly down the center, and then you can take an ice cream scoop and just scoop out that seed pocket to remove the large seeds. What I do try to do is I like to cut my zucchini so that it kind of resembles apple slices, and I'll show you exactly what I mean here. Whoops, gonna break my lid. You can just see that I have cut my zucchini kind of so that they resemble apples. So get your 12 cups of zucchini sliced and in your pan. And what else you're going to need is 4 cups of apple juice, 3 cups of sugar, a half cup of clear gel or tapioca flour or tapioca starch. Now remember, in another video I shared with you that tapioca flour and tapioca starch are virtually the same thing, and you can either use the clear gel, and this is the cooked type of clear gel, not the instant clear gel. So you can either use clear gel or an equivalent measurement of tapioca flour or starch. So that's a half cup of clear gel or tapioca, 1/8 teaspoon of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/3 cup of lemon juice. So this will create 3-quart jars of finished apple pie or mock apple pie filling for you. So feel free, if you have more zucchini or you'd like a larger batch, feel free to double this. But this was just perfect. Once again, at the end of the year, it was just the perfect amount for the amount of zucchini that I had. So this is just an amazing opportunity to do this with you today. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that 4 cups of apple juice and you're going to divide that. So you'll have 2 2-cup measurements. And to your 12 cups of zucchini in your big pot on your stove, we're going to add 2 cups of apple juice. Now, after this zucchini has cooked in the apple juice, we are going to strain the apple juice off. And I do strain it and save it because honestly, there's nothing wrong with this apple juice after your zucchini cooks in it. You just need to cool it, and then you can use it to drink. But what that's going to do is it's going to kind of infuse your zucchini with a little bit of apple flavor, and it's also going to help the zucchini kind of release excess fluid. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. For some reason, I think I have over 12 cups of zucchini in my pan today. But like I said, we drain this off, so the exact measurement isn't really crucial at this point in time. I think I had about 3 cups of apple juice in there. And you don't need to cover your zucchini. It will cook down and the juice will be incorporated through all the slices. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to cap that zucchini and apple juice up, and then we are going to put it over medium heat, and we're going to bring that to a boil, and then we'll reduce it to a simmer, and we're going to simmer the zucchini for 10 minutes until it's cooked. So I'll get my heat on, and I'll get that to a boil and down to a simmer for approximately 10 minutes, and then I'll be back. All right, so we're back. The zucchini has been simmering in that apple juice for 10 minutes, and it is partially cooked. and that's how you want it. I'm going to get my lid off here. And what we are going to do now at this point in time is we're just carefully going to strain all of that juice off of the zucchini. So I just have a large colander here, and we're just going to get our zucchini in there and allow that juice to just drain off. And I am, instead of just allowing it to go down the sink, I am saving this apple juice, zucchini juice. We'll chill it and either drink it, or I will use it to marinate and cook some meat in the crock pot. It actually still has a lot of really good flavor in it. All right, so we have our cooked zucchini there. I had a little something in my pan that I didn't like here. There, I got it. All right, so now we're just going to take our empty pan, the same pan that you cooked your zucchini in, and we are going to add the rest of our ingredients. Let me get this out of the way while it's draining. We are simply going to add the rest of our ingredients back into our pan. So that includes 2 cups of fresh apple juice, 1/3 cup of lemon juice, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cloves. Whoops, that's my nutmeg. There we go. 1/8 of a teaspoon of cloves. Now remember that cloves can become really easily overbearing, so you always want to be kind of careful with your cloves. But a little tiny pinch of it is really nice. So 1/8 of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 full teaspoon of cinnamon. Now cinnamon is one of those things that I just don't feel like you can easily overdo. I love cinnamon, and so I'll probably put more like 1.5 teaspoons in, just because I like that cinnamon flavor. All right, and to that, excuse me, we are going to add our 3 cups of sugar and 1/2 cup of either clear gel or tapioca flour / tapioca starch. And I do have the tapioca myself. I really love this product. It just works super well for me in all of my canning. And what I do is I always stir it in with my sugar when I'm making pie fillings. I stir my tapioca flour or tapioca starch right into my sugar measurement. And that kind of helps it from floating on top of your fluids, and it just incorporates it a little bit better. So now all we're going to do is we're just going to whisk that into our juice in our pan, get it mixed up nice and well. And we are going to turn the heat back on, and over medium heat, we are going to bring this to a boil, and we are going to stir it constantly. So bring it to a boil, stirring constantly, and boil for 1 minute. And this will slightly thicken because you've got that clear gel or that tapioca flour in it already. So what we're trying to do is get it to thicken, and then we're going to add our zucchini back into the mix. In the meantime, get your canner ready and hot, okay? We're going to be working with a hot pie filling. We want a hot canner. This is just a simple hot water bath or steam can, okay? So I'm getting my canner heated up while I'm boiling my my pie filling juice here. I'm going to bring this to a boil and boil for 1 minute, and then I will be back. All right, so I have had my mixture come to a boil, and I boiled it for 1 minute. And I don't know if you can see in the pan or not, but my mixture is actually thickening quite well. But this is why you really want to stand and stir this the entire time, because this pie filling mixture will burn to the bottom of your pan so easily. So now I have turned my heat off, and I'm going to re-add my zucchini to the pie filling mixture. All of my drained cooked zucchini, and get that back in there. And I do prefer to stir this up with either a wooden or a plastic spoon. If you use a metal spoon for this, you're going to chew your apples apart, okay, with your metal utensil. So I do prefer to use, like I said, either a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon. And just get that mixed up really nicely and get the zucchini incorporated in there. Now I'm going to turn my heat back on to medium. Everything is still nice and hot, but I'm going to cook this for about another 2 or 3 minutes until it thickens to my preference, okay? And you don't want it super thick. It will thicken just a little bit during the canning process, but you don't want it soupy either. So we'll just cook it a few minutes and just make sure that it's the consistency that we want. Probably about 2 minutes is all it's going to take. And then I will come back and show you how I get these in jars and get them canned up. All right, so after I got my zucchini back in there, I simmered it for about 2 minutes. And you guys, you can just see how beautiful and thick this wonderful pie filling is. It is just a gorgeous consistency. Now, it's not too awful thick, but it's also not thin and runny. So that is about the point that you want to get your pie filling into your jars. All right, so I have got my jars prepared. Now, I am working with extremely hot pie filling. I did not heat up my jars, and so I'm going to introduce my hot pie filling very carefully to my jars at first so that I don't have any thermal shock that happens with the glass. So I'm just going to drop just a few little pieces in there, real slow, and allow that jar to kind of acclimate to that hot pie filling. And I'm going to start a second jar doing the same thing. Just kind of slowly introducing that hot stuff and allowing that jar to get accustomed to the heat. All right, now my first one should be nice and heated up, and so now I can go ahead and fill the rest of my jar. Now you can fill this to within 1 inch headspace. I do tend to leave about 1.5 inches on this pie filling, just because sometimes it does boil up and you can have some overflow issues with it. So I leave just a little additional headspace with this one. And today I am using wide mouth jars. I've noticed with thicker products, the wide mouth jars don't have quite as many overflow issues as the narrow or regular mouth jars do. So I do like the wide mouth jars for projects like this. Get in there to about 1.5 inch headspace, and we'll get our next jar. Oh, you know, I wasn't even checking to see if you guys were aimed down where you needed to be. Sorry about that, guys. All right, there we go. And we have our last one here. Now I think I have enough filling left over tonight that I've got enough for one more pint. I'm gonna run and get a pint jar. All right, guys, I'm back. Now I'm just gonna use the handle to my plastic spoon and just kind of go around these jars because, like I said, this is a thicker product. Now, there's not a whole lot of times that you will see me worrying about debubbling, but if it is a thick product or something where there's layers in it and I want to make sure that all that air is out, I will debubble. But generally, most of my things, I don't worry about doing that. All right, we got those debubbled. And then just like with any other project, now where did I put my little handy dandy washcloth? I dropped it over here. Okay. I'm hot and it's the end of the day and I'm tired and I can tell that I'm just not, I don't have my ducks in a row tonight, guys. But you just got to keep going when you have things to preserve and just think about everything that you're doing. This is when accidents will happen, when you're tired in the kitchen. So just carefully think about each thing that you're doing and just keep pressing forward. All right, so we've got those wiped and ready to go in our hot canner. And in they go. I'm using wonderful, superb canning lids tonight. I love these, but I have noticed that I don't like to tighten them as much as other lids. There's so much sealing compound on these wonderful, superb lids that I've actually just tightening the way that I tighten most other disposable canning lids. I've had some buckling problems, like they were tightened too tight. So I've kind of backed off on tightening my superb lids like I do other brands. All right, we're gonna get this over here. And now, like I said, this is just a hot water bath or steam can. Now, pints can be done for 20 minutes, hot water bath. Quarts are 25 hot water bath. Here, let's get you back up here. There we go, I think. There we are. So, hot water bath or steam can. Pints are 20 minutes, quarts are 25 minutes. And I'm just using my stovetop pressure canner as a steam canner because y'all know how I love to steam can. So I'm just gonna pop that lid on. Now we have a hot canner, we have a hot product, and so I'm just gonna get it cranked right up on high right away because I'm not gonna have any thermal shock issues by heating it too quickly. So I'm gonna get this up to a vent, and then I'm just gonna vent it the entire 25 minutes. I'll turn it down to like medium, just so that my lid lock button stays in the upright position and my emergency blow off valve, you know, stays up too. You gotta have enough steam in there so that those two things stay up in the upright position. But on my gas stove, I can turn it down to medium and get all the way through my steam canning process with no problems at all. So, gonna get this up to a vent and I'll come back when the canning process is done. All right, so my 25-minute steam can processing time is over, and all I'm gonna do is just shut off my my burner and allow my canner to cool a bit. Now my emergency pop-off button back there and my lid lock pressure valve is going to drop down, but I'm gonna let it cool for at least 10 minutes before I crack open the lid. And then I'll slide it off just ever so slightly to the edge and I'll let it cool off for at least another 10 minutes before removing my jars. So I'm gonna get through that cooling process and then I will be back to reveal the absolutely beautiful results. I have allowed my canner to cool and now I feel like it's safe to go ahead and remove that lid, and we won't, ooh, there, one of those beautiful lids just sealed. I heard a couple of them already in the canner seal, but I'm going to pull these out and look at how absolutely gorgeous this mock apple pie filling is. Now this reacts just like any other pie filling. You just put it in your pie crust, bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes until your crust is nice and golden brown. You know, these are fully cooked. You've cooked them in the pan, you've cooked them in the canning process, And so it's just like any other canned pie filling that you would purchase at your store, and you use it the same way. Nobody is ever, I swear to you, your family, your friends will never know that they are eating zucchini. This stuff is absolutely amazing, and it tastes amazing. So there we have it. Mock apple pie filling, you guys. It's so simple. It's so delicious. I hope you give it a try in your own home. Look at those beautiful, beautiful results. Just thick and tastes like apple. It's just seriously amazing, amazing stuff. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed what I shared with you today. I want to thank you so much again for spending your time with me. God bless you all, and happy canning, everybody.